Hi, this is Ellen Madono speaking to you from Tokyo Homeopathy. And today we have a special guest with a very common problem. This is Kitty. Hey there, Ellen. How you doing? Oh, I'm okay. But I hear you got a problem. Yeah. I got so many hospital bills, medical bills, and ongoing problems. And you've been able to help me, and I'm really thankful about that. But I have these vaccinations from COVID. And my family, my friends and relatives are beginning to feel the effects. Everyone's not very aware of what causes what. But we are having so many unusual crises. The other day, my son was on the ground, paralyzed, and my father had the entire church praying for him. He was paralyzed on the leg where the shot was given. I don't know how it worked, but he got up again, and I'm just determined to do something about these vaccinations. Well, that's a very good idea, Kitty. I have some ideas for you about that. Okay. Whatever you say, I'm interested. Well, I sent you some little pellets to detox those vaccinations. Yeah, that's very nice of you, and I appreciate it, but a few pellets are not going to do much for my many friends and relatives. We are all suffering. How can you help us with just a few pellets? Aw, Kitty, I get it. But actually, this is something I have done for 20 years. That is, I increase those pellets, just a few pellets, and I make them into any number of pellets. That's not making sense. I'm sorry. Okay, Kitty, I'm with you. I get it. It's not very easy to understand. But what I do is, for 20 years, is I have these little bags here of various remedies. And, I have many of them. And if I'm going on a little trip, I pack them in this little bag. And if it's on a plane, I wrap them in tinfoil. But the point is that there's a way to make a remedy from just one or two pellets. Hey, that's like Jesus and the bread. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, this is not Jesus and the bread, okay? This is Einstein and nanoparticles. I don't know anything about nanoparticles. Well, neither do I, except what I've been told. I'm no physicist. I can't really tell you the science of nanoparticles. It seems to be very complicated. But we're curing cancer these days, or I don't know if they're curing, but they're claiming to have cancer medications made from nanoparticles. And nanoparticles are poisoning our environment because they don't go away. They stick. I found an advertisement for nanoparticles to make stained glass windows because they stick to glass. And that's something that homeopaths have known for ever, since Hahnemann. Because what Hahnemann told us way back in the day is that you make your remedies in a glass bottle. And when you make a remedy, you always use either high percent of alcohol and water, or water, just water. You just want to use water, or you can use, if you want to put your remedies in a form that's solid, so people can carry it around easily instead of glass bottles that break, you put it on sugar. You can't put it on salt, you can't put it on flour. You have to put it on sugar because it's glass, sugar, alcohol, and water. Just 4 elements that will absorb the nanoparticles of the remedy. Okay? And when they make remedies, this is actually something that material scientists, people who study chemistry and physics, they've studied this because there are electron microscopes that can actually take pictures of nanoparticles. And the nanoparticles collect on the inside of the glass jar, and they collect on the top surface of the water or alcohol. So when we dilute remedies from one bottle to another bottle, we are actually we can pour out the water, but the nanoparticles will be stuck to the glass. And so when you pour it out like this, then you're pouring the nanoparticles that are on the top of the bottle. It's just one little drop will have enough of those nanoparticles because they're really small. A hydrogen atom is just two parts, right? So it's very small. And then the atoms get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's either 23,000 atoms, the size of a nanoparticle, or 100 atoms or something like that. I mean, it's not clear because there's so many different sized atoms. But anyway, it's in that kind of a universe, where you're talking about the size of atoms. We don't have any association in our daily life with the size of atoms, dust and dirt and that sort of thing I see, but I don't see atoms ever. So I'm not talking about something that I know from personal experience. Okay, if that's what the scientists say, then I'm okay with it. It's okay. You can go with that. Thanks, Kitty. That's helpful. That's encouraging because I can't pretend to be a scientist. So, what I did to make all these remedies that I put in my travel kit is I put the actual remedy from the pharmacy. The pharmacy made the remedies the same way that I'm making the remedy. Excepting I get the one from the pharmacy. And I put that remedy into a bottle like this, okay? And this becomes my original tincture. It's not exactly a mother tincture because a mother tincture is something that we make when we first make the remedy, but it's actually a dilution. Okay, so I put the remedy in here, and I put some alcohol in here. And then I put this alcohol or water, it doesn't matter which. And then I put this alcohol or water here into the next jar. Okay, and the next jar is used to make the remedies for my friends and relatives. Okay, I can get those jars. I got a lot of jars. I'm I'm pretty good with jars. Okay, the next part is I personally use these little pellets that I buy from the pharmacy. They cost about $16 for a big bag. And I know you don't have those little pellets. No, I certainly do not. But, you know, Kitty, those pellets are really just sugar. And all you need is sugar. When you go to the store, you can buy coffee sugar that's white. Probably white is better than brown. But anyway, sugar, any kind of sugar. And then you put your first dilution here on the sugar. Okay, so if this was 30C, which is a dilution of homeopathy, and if this is 1C, this one that you put the drop in here, this would become 31C. To make it 31C, you have to succuss it. You hit it. My hand would get injured because I want to hit it really hard. So I'll use a book and hit it really hard. And maybe I do it 10 times. Maybe I do it 50 times. It just depends on how much passion I want to put into this. You increase the potency is the point. Okay? Through the succussion. If nothing else, I'm a pretty strong tiger. Okay. Great, Kitty. You can do this. So, that's really all there's to it. That's really all there's to it. I mean, it's pretty incredible that I have traveled and had all kinds of accidents. My husband has a abscess in his mouth, and we're in the middle of nowhere where I'm not going to get drugs or anything to help him, and he's in terrible pain. But, you know, I had my little kit here. I had my kit. And in 2 days, the abscess was healed. So I was pretty thankful that I had information about homeopathy, but I also had these little pellets that I had made myself. So let me get this straight, Ellen. Are you saying that I can take those pellets that you sent me and put just one in a bottle of water and then save that one and then put the next one in the bottle of water or alcohol, and then I can make little sugar pellets that I could give to all my friends and relatives? Yes, that's what I'm saying. And actually, I had a friend who went to Cuba, and this was during the embargo that's lasted how many years of Cuba. And when people found out that she could heal, they were lined up for 2 blocks in front of her house in the morning. And so she did exactly what I was doing. I had given her a travel pack, very small travel pack actually, and she just gave out those remedies to everyone. And it wasn't because she had a lot of remedies. It's because she could increase the remedies the way I'm saying. There's one little problem here. Sometimes, you know, these bottles are tight, but over the years, the alcohol can evaporate. But remember that the nanoparticles are stuck to the inside of the jar. They're stuck to the glass. And so if you use the jar again, no problem. It will actually be the next dilution of the remedy. I send these plastic jars to my patients, and we do the same thing with the plastic jars. I don't think that the dilution is as effective, and you can't expect to increase the potency with just these jars. You should use glass if possible. But actually, I've done this with plastic bags, and it works enough. these nanoparticles are really, they really stick there. So even plastic bags and this kind of thing work. The remedies work. That's all I can say. I don't know what happens with the nanoparticles. Hahnemann, our founder of homeopathy, didn't use plastic, and we are destroying our world with plastic. So I'm not exactly in favor of plastic, but these kinds of Ziploc envelopes to give your remedies to your patients, and these kinds of plastic jars are cheap and available, so I'm using them. It's called realism in the world of material things, and realism in the world of energy. Hey, Ellen, this was a pretty good show you put on for me. Thanks a lot. Well, Kitty, I'm really happy to help you out because you got a lot of friends and relatives. And a lot of us are in trouble with our medical system. So we got to do something about it. Oh, one thing, Kitty, I forgot to tell you that I made a couple of other videos. One is on dilution of remedies, how you make the first remedy bottle, and another one on how you organize your remedies. If you're going to use these detox remedies, there's 2 support remedies. So there's the vaccination and 2 support remedies. You have to keep that all organized. So look at my other video. Just take a look at it. They're short. And be sure that you know how to instruct your many friends and relatives, and you can stay organized. And also, I sent you many little envelopes of a few remedies. Be sure that you keep those organized. I keep mine in alphabetical order. And it's very important that when people need something, you can just pull it out because you know where it is. These remedies are small and there are many of them. So the only trick is to keep it organized. We have been talking about how you create a new remedy from a pellet that you got from the pharmacy. Or even a remedy that has been reproduced once like this. You can do it again and again, but maybe not 100 times. When patients are hypersensitive, I use what is called the 5-cup method. That is, I have them dilute the remedies. They put a remedy in a cup and then stir it with a spoon and put the spoon in the next cup. And they do that for 5 cups. I had a very sensitive patient, and he would do that for 17 cups, and it still worked. I'm not suggesting that you dilute that much, but dilution works. And I do it regularly with hypersensitive patients. So you can try that too. This is Ellen Madono speaking to you from Tokyo Homeopathy. And I've been telling you the procedure for diluting your remedies to create new remedies. I hope this will help you to treat all of your friends and relatives. I know there's a great need. Thank you.